It's my dad.
Why have you brought your dad here?
Guys, watch that carefully. I will be right back.
All right, John.
No, I'm not alright. Your daughter's cheated on me, mate.
What? What have you done?
She's cheated on me. And now she wants to come back into my house.
Because I want to apologise. I want to talk like adults.
Why have you brought your dad here?
Because he knows that I'm a good person and that how much I care about you.
Excuse me. Hang on a second. You've cheated on John.
It was just one night.
Is that right?
I just got really drunk.
For God's sake.
It happens all the time.
Oh, it happens all the time. You cheat on him all the time.
No, but like people do it all of the time.
No, it doesn't happen all the time.
I've never done it. What's the matter with you?
That's what you see in the movies, isn't it?
This is real life. Why have you done that to the man you
I
love?
didn't do it purposely. I was just really drunk, and I said I'm sorry, and I just want
John,
to
mate,
talk.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say, really. I mean, I'm
It's not your fault, man.
My daughter, I mean, I thought she had more morals than that. So,
I said I'm sorry. What more do you want me to do? I said I'm sorry.
You said you're sorry, but that's it. Like, I'm not letting you back in my house. Like,
yeah, sorry doesn't cut it, does it? I can't say I blame him, really. You better come back with me now, then.
No, I'm not leaving until I talk to you.
He doesn't want to talk to you. I don't blame him. I wouldn't talk to you either.
Well, I can't.
I've talked to you. I've talked to you. You didn't even tell me. You didn't even tell me. Your friend told me. Your friend sent me a picture of you kissing another guy.
Like, you did. It was one time. There was no intention behind it.
Well, it must have been intention.
It don't matter if it's intention.
No, that's not an excuse.
The intention is you're not allowed back in my house. End of.
He's not letting you back in, and I don't blame him. In fact, I'm totally on
You're
his
gonna
side.
miss me. You're gonna miss me. You'll come crawling
John,
back.
mate, I'm so sorry. I apologise on my daughter's behalf. I thought she was better than this. I really did. I'm really sad and angry about it.
What can I do to make it better?
I'll tell you what, John. If I pop round tomorrow, shall I pick up her stuff from you? John?
Yeah, like she's not welcome back in my house.
Well, I understand that, and I get that completely. And I'll pop round. What time? What's good for you tomorrow?
I'll send you a text. I don't know, but like, yeah, like I'm still just in a bit of shock, you know. Like it's already something I've thought about.
Come on, car home, you stupid girl.
Imagine a world where trust, loyalty, and love, the very foundations of marriage, are crumbling, where betrayal is not just personal but cultural. Today, we're diving into two powerful stories, one of a domestic confrontation that shattered a family, and the other one rooted in history where civilizations themselves collapsed under the weight of unchecked sexual freedom. Let's get into it. A woman's infidelity is exposed. Instead of remorse, she blames alcohol, blames societal norms, anything but herself. Her boyfriend refuses to let her back in, and then comes the twist. Her own father steps in. Rather than defending his daughter, he sides with the betrayed boyfriend. He expresses shame, apologizes for her lack of morals, and arranges to collect her sins. In that moment, trust is shattered, not just between lovers, but within the family itself. It's a microcosm of what happens when betrayal erodes the very foundation of relationship. But hold up, this isn't just about one family. History shows us what happens when sexual restraints of women collapses.
What pisses me off most about the human race? Probably what's presented in this book here, Sex and Culture. So what pisses me off most about the human race is, I think, women throughout history, throughout every civilization, throughout every culture, are in a constant state of trying to slut out all the time. It is men constantly who are the ones responsible for stopping women from doing this. This then makes women see men as oppressors, which is, that sucks for both sides. As a woman, you feel like you're being oppressed, and as a man, you're being viewed as an oppressor all the time. Secondly, the second women are allowed to become complete whores, they do end up dominating society, and they get everything. They get all the money, all the power, all the influence, all the success. They get everything they want. The worst part about all of this, and the more you read this book, the more this happens. Every single time this happens, it happens for a very short time before the entirety of the civilization crumbles to dust. So women are in a constant state of trying to be whores. Men are in a constant state of making sure women do not do that. The moment women do that, there's a brief period of utter, total female dominance, which is then abruptly met with total annihilation.
Now, if you have listened to this point and you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now, because we break down stories like these and connect them to the bigger questions men are asking about relationships today. Now, let's zoom out. J.D. Unwin, in his book Sex and Culture, argued that the sexual behavior of women has always been a driving force in the rise and fall of civilizations. He claimed that when women's sexual restraint collapses, societies enter a brief period of female dominance. We're talking about wealth, power, influence, but it never lasts. Every time the civilization crumbles, men historically have acted as the restraining force, trying to preserve stability. Women, in turn, often see this restraint as oppression, and so the cycle continues. Women pushing for freedom, and men cast as oppressors, and societies, teetering on collapse when restraint dissolves. Now we see that the father's intervention in that domestic scene suddenly makes sense in this larger context. The father wasn't just protecting the boyfriend, he was protecting the principle of accountability. He was stepping into the role men have historically played, and that is enforcing boundaries, not out of hatred, but out of a belief that without restraint, trust collapses, families disintegrate, and civilizations fall. His shame wasn't just personal, it was generational. The father knew that betrayal dishonors not just the woman, his daughter in this case, but the family and the culture he represents. And this is why fathers are a very important part of our society. Once men are removed from the equation, this is the chaos we are left with. So, together, these stories, the micro and the macro, paint a sobering picture. On the personal level, infidelity destroys trust and leaves men in self-preservation mode. On the cultural level, unchecked sexual freedom of women leads to dominance, followed by collapse. And in both cases, men are left asking themselves, is commitment worth the gamble in today's world? Or has marriage, once a sacred institution built on trust, loyalty, and love, become a dangerous game where the risk outweighs the reward? At this point, even my rabbit butter has a girlfriend, Ash, and now he doesn't want to be picked up anymore. I said, wow, it's really happening everywhere. Men are not the only ones, pulling back, even rabbits. Don't forget to subscribe and drop your thoughts below. See you in the next one.